Hey, my name is Sarah and I'm 22 years old and welcome to my Booktube channel. Hey, I am a reader obviously and an avid bookworm, and I want my channel to be a place of safety. I want it to be a safe zone, a no judgment zone, judgment free, no spoilers unless it's stated, and everything like that. So hey, and in the background you can hear my boyfriend talking loudly in a different language whilst he's playing a game. So if you can take that, you're my people, okay? You're my people. So I just want to talk today about what this channel's going to be, and I want this channel to be a calm, peaceful, safe zone for people to express themselves, and this is a place where people can, you know, be themselves and stuff. And whether you have me on in the background or you watch me, hey, I'm Sarah again. I want to talk about my favourite books, which are my 5-star reads, my all-time 5-star reads. It's only 2 of them. And I've already spoken about what this channel's going to be, what inspired me to start reading. I think we'll start with that. What inspired me to start reading? Well, I think any girl who is 22 or a bit older than me and grew up with Miss Jacqueline Wilson will know that she was a big inspiration for my generation to start reading and even to start writing. Jacqueline Wilson spoke about themes, about very serious life things that happen to people in the world, and she spoke about it in a children's form that was easy to digest. Saying that, there was a lot that I didn't understand at the time. Like Illustrated Mum. I didn't understand Illustrated Mum when I first read it when I was about 9. I didn't understand that. And I was 9 years old, of course I wouldn't understand it. But it was my first introduction to any kind of mental illness, especially when I was 9 years old. I think it should be spoken about a lot more. But yeah, Jacqueline Wilson was an inspiration for me to read. The way she wrote is easy to digest, especially when you're a kid. And they're even like, at 22 years old, I still read some of her books. Like, I've got, never mind, I don't have it. Baby Love, which was her like most recent-ish book. My iPhone storage ran out. Welcome to my life. But yeah, where was that? Jacqueline Wilson. She was just an inspiration for me as a kid, and I used to write books at school, especially primary school, that are very similar. I'll talk about that later, but yeah. My mum also was a big inspiration. My mum always reads. She always was the one to recommend me books, especially when I started reading a lot more when I was a teenager. And she's always reading. She's always talking to me about books that she's read. And she was a big inspiration because it was nice to read around her as well, because she was so calm whenever she was reading. And also, another thing, she understands. If I talk about a character in a book that I've loved or themes in a book that I absolutely love, she gets it. She treats these characters like they're real people, and so do I. And I absolutely adore that kind of conversation. And yeah, so my mum was a big inspiration for me to start reading. And also just really good authors and escapism into a world of romance, into a world of fantastical beasts and where to find them. But yeah, and that's that really. Jacqueline Wilson was such an inspiration as well as a kid. I love to write as well. I keep a diary, I keep a journal, and honestly, the things she spoke about, the things she wrote about was really hard hitting, as I've said before. Oh my gosh, I'm a broken record. But I remember being very inspired to write similar themes as a kid in primary school. And I had actually written, fun fact, I'm obsessed with history, right? And I had actually written, oh my goodness, I'd actually written a book about this young girl who was about my age, and she was 11, and she was an executioner. And I wrote about that, and I was inspired by Jacqueline Wilson. Don't know why, because she doesn't have any executions in her books as far as I'm aware. But the sort of the way, the prose, I guess, it was similar. And I remember getting called into the school office for that one. But it's good memories, and Jacqueline Wilson will always have a place in my heart. Now, I've actually forgotten what I came here to talk about properly because I am a yapper. My current read. So I've been reading 2 books recently. I've finished my second book yesterday. Oh no, I finished both yesterday. And that was Butcher and Blackbird. No spoilers, okay? It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't a fan of the serial killer trope. I didn't get it. And it's a dark romance. And whilst I do like a dark romance, come on, I'm just a girl. I like dark romance. That wasn't for me. No, that wasn't for me. I ended up skimming it. Like, if I really like a book, I'll read it, obviously. I'll read every word and be like, what does that mean? Nah, not for Butcher and Blackbird. And I don't think it's the book to do that, to be honest, but no, didn't like it. Sorry. Didn't like it. I rated it a 1 star on Goodreads, and I said, I'm convinced everyone who likes this book is lying to me. I didn't like it. If you like it, hey, listen, if you like it, that's fine. If you like it, that's fine. That's fine. I don't judge you for liking it. I can see why people like it. I really can see why people are liking it. But it wasn't for me. And it took me a long time to read it as well. It was only like 338 pages, I think. And it took me about a week. I just wasn't into it. I mean, I got into it because of Sarah Carrioli was like saying it was really good. Not for me. It wasn't for me. But if it's for you, listen, I'm not here to judge. My second book that I read, that I started yesterday and finished yesterday, If You Could See the Sun by Anne Liang. Anne Liang writes some of the best wit I have ever seen in an author. And the way she writes a high school romance, or a romance about the girl who's a bit, she's a bit, not insecure, that's the wrong word, but she's a bit like, shy. She's a bit shy, she's a bit, she's mild. She's just hilarious. It's just funny. If You Could See the Sun was funny. And it's really interesting because it's about a girl, this is not spoilers, this is in the synopsis of the book, but it's about a girl who can go invisible and she monopolises it. And it's really good. It's just so good and it's so funny. And another book by hers, which is my favourite book, is I Hope This Doesn't Find You. And it's about a girl who writes hate emails. And I love it. I just think it's really funny. And the romance as well is not forced. Like, it's not like I look at him and I look at those lips or whatever. It is very much from a girl who does not like this person. And I love that in a book. I think my storage keeps running out. I just don't want to talk about it. And yeah, so Anne Liang, I would definitely recommend her. It's very quick, it's very easy, and it's just so good. It's so funny, it's so humorous, it's everything. And I love that about Anne Liang. So then my current reads, I gave If You Could See the Sun, I gave that 3 stars out of 5. Now 3 is good in my books. 3 is good. 2 is alright, 1 is bad. 5 is 10 out of 10, no questions asked. I can talk for days about this book. 4 is absolutely brilliant, loved it. 3 is, oh, it's really good, I liked it. That's my system in my head. And it's very hard for me to give a 5 star a lot of the time. I have 2 5 stars that have stayed 5 stars for my whole life. For my whole life. Anyway, let's go on to my 5 star. My 5 star read of all time, my favourite book of all time, that is The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner came in at a point in my life when I think I was like 17 when I first read it. And I read it twice because I had to do it for my English literature A-level. Anyway, but I read it probably about a year before I did my A-levels. And it came at a point in my life where I was just reading romance, and romance was I was living and breathing it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was nice to find a nuanced book that is got a bit of romance, it's got drama, it's got thriller, and it's got heartache. I think heartache and redemption are the most prevalent themes in this book. It is narrated by a 10-year-old boy who is an unreliable narrator. Love that already. And it's just about Amir and his best friend Hassan. And they live in Afghanistan together, and they're both in different classes. And it goes through, like, historically what happened in Afghanistan when the Soviets came in the 70s, and then the Taliban. And it goes through all these different periods of Amir and Hassan's life. And eventually Amir has to leave Afghanistan, and he goes with his dad to America, and they live in America, and he meets the love of his life. And he ends up having to go back to Afghanistan, and that is that. But the way this book is written, like, it is, I don't even know, like, it's a religious book, you know? It is so, the way things are described, the way pomegranate is made in the book. Pomegranate is a big thing in the book, like a big theme, big symbolism. I will say, it is just the prose, the text, the way it's written. Khaled Hosseini is a genius, and I've got all of his books. I want him to write more, but he's doing great with, you know, with what he's doing now. But he's got another book, 1,000 Splendid Suns. That is another 5-star read. I read it after The Kite Runner because I wanted to read more of his books. 1,000 Splendid Suns is about the women in Afghanistan, and they're usually set in, like, the early 2000s, and that's because he wrote them in the early 2000s. Like, The Kite Runner is set in different periods, but it's the 2001 or 2002. It's 2001, 2002. And this one, I believe, is 2003, but I'm not sure, which is 1,000 Splendid Suns. And then And the Mountains Echoed. I didn't mind it. He's my favourite author of all time, though, is Khaled Hosseini, and I really want him to write more. But I don't think he will, because it's been, what, 15 years now since he's written a book. So I think he's a genius. I think he's a literary genius, and if I met him, I think I would bow. I think I'd go, Your Majesty. I think I would bow to him, and I would cry, because I love this man. The way he writes, I would always recommend The Kite Runner to any reader, whether you're a new reader, an advanced reader, an experienced reader. The Kite Runner is the way to go. And I never see it on Booktube. I never see The Kite Runner on Booktube or Book Talk. I never see it, and it makes me so upset, because it's like, this is a book that still has current themes that we see in today in the world, and it is so important to read. And there's a reason why you study it at A level. You study it at A level. I tend to mumble a lot, especially when I'm really excited. I just tend to talk, and I sometimes can't understand a word I say. So how am I meant to know if you can understand, you know? Anyway, so that's that, really. I love to read. Reading, as everyone says, is escapism. Reading also increases your intelligence. And I don't know. I just love reading. It's so peaceful to me, and it's so, just to be in another world for a bit, you know, whether that's a realistic world or whether it's a fantastical world. To be in another world for just an hour, sometimes maybe a bit longer, a whole day, is just a nice break from everything. That's depressing. Anyway. Yeah. That's it. That's all I really have to say about the introduction to my channel. I will never change my opinion on The Kite Runner. And again, this is a judgment-free zone. So if you have anything bad to say about The Kite Runner, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I want this place to be calm. I want it to be peaceful. I want it to be a safe area for people to talk, for people to make friends, for people to just get on. and we've all got one topic of interest, which is reading and everything like that. So you can be looking at my channel and you'll be seeing chill vlogs, you'll be seeing bookstore vlogs, hauls, reviews, everything. Challenges maybe, I don't know about that. The 24-hour challenge scares me. It's like, can I read for that long? I'm not actually that sure. I did yesterday though, so I don't know what. Did I? No, I didn't. I read for a lot of the day and it was the same book. No, anyway. I'm gonna love you and leave you. And I hope you like the channel. And I hope he did not put you off so much, because he's been putting me off. Can't lie. Alright. See ya.